Okay, so basically, let's talk about the Lincoln MKC. So basically, the Lincoln MKC starts at about a MSRP of about $33,260. They have a lease price where you have to pay $27.39 at signing, and it will become $299 a month. The MKC estimates about 20 miles per gallon city and about 29 miles per gallon highway. Let me just turn that down. I was watching Taken 3. Also, I was over here looking at my YouTube. As you can see, my Tesla Model S P90D videos are, up to 32,000 views. And since the insane mode video I did hit, or should be hitting 500,000 probably today, I'm hoping this one will reach 500,000 now that, there's more people talking about the car. So as you know, the MKC, Matthew McConaughey, really loves that car. Matthew McConaughey. So they have this little video about Matthew McConaughey driving the Lincoln MKC, and he has that smug look on his face as if he just bought something that like nobody else can afford. I just love that smug look. So anyway, we're not going to watch too much of that because you've probably already seen this. So before I get into the car and drive it around, let's talk about the build and the price. So basically, they have a black label, which if I had built it, it would have come with Brembo brakes and it would have come with an optional 3.5 liter V6 Ecobooost twin turbo that you find in the MKS. But since I didn't build it, it certainly is not going to come with that. So they say, let us find it for you. Let's do a custom build. Okay, zip code. Let's say 10006. Continue to models. I'm going to make this part quick. So you have two engine choices. You have the 2.0 liter EcoBoost with front wheel drive, and that's $33,260, so that's the entry. Then you have the all-wheel drive with that same 2 liter. That is $35,755, and then you have the 2.3 liter EcoBoost, and that will start at $40,725. So since the 2.3 is the one that I'm showing you, let's go there. So we're already at $40,650. Select the 200A equipment group. What does this come with? Okay, it comes with, the main things you want, like heated, power driver's seat, and this, that, and another, split bench, 60/40, map pockets. It's got the new sync system with the push buttons and whatnot. It's got the steering wheel controls. Let's see, media hub, USB ports and everything, SD card, premium sound system, exterior features, folding mirrors that will automatically fold, reverse rain sensing. It has a very long list of things, as you can see. You can look at this yourself, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. So let's say the one that I'm showing you is fully loaded. So let's click the 300A equipment group because it comes with what's called the Vista roof, which means that you get to see more. Heated and cooled seats. It comes with everything. $44,020. And they're asking me if I want to chat, and I'd be like, nah, because, I could make a joke of it, and I could talk to the person and say, hey, why didn't you put the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 as an option and offer Brembo brakes and sport seats with sport bolstering? But they'd probably look at me and say I'm crazy. Meanwhile, Dodge is selling Hellcats for $15,000 above sticker. You know why? Because having optional super-powered cars, it just so happens there's a lot of people who want to buy stuff like that. So let's click that tech package for the navigation system and whatnot. We don't need the trail package. Everything else is pretty much in there. The wheel choice, I don't even have to really click that. So I'll just say right now the price was $46,315. Continue to interior. We have the lighter interior. So this is the interior that I'll be showing you. That is not really that's the white sand, but that doesn't cost you more. Add the climate package for $660 or whatever that is. That's a $608. The 8 is worn out. Select plus package. They're saying you got to remove something. Okay, yeah, they remove one thing and they put something else in. Okay, and then the aluminum trim Sonata spin package. The aluminum, you gotta have those aluminum trim, but the problem is that changes the color. So no, I want to keep the white sand. And you get the all-weather floor mats. All that stuff was a dealer-installed option. The cargo protection, all that stuff is just dealer-installed. They usually put that stuff in there, especially they offer it to you if they see you have pets that you carry around. Premium reversible cargo mat. No, we didn't have that. And basically a grand total is about $42,535. So you figure with taxes and dealer fees for here in New York City, you can pretty much estimate that this is basically a $45,000 car, because the taxes are going to push you up, $2,500 or so. So let's just average it out at about $45,000 for the average person who's going to buy one of these things. And granted, you don't actually have to get all this stuff. It's just that we did. Now there's the accessories here. This is all minor stuff. Some dealers add more stuff, some dealers don't. You're going to pay for it one way or another. And it says continue the summary, and you end up with roughly $43,000, give or take, before they tackle in all that tax. So you're figuring about $45,000. And that is the MKC, the smallest of Ford Lincoln's crossovers. I'm beginning where I started. It's kind of like that game Limbo. So this is the touch panel. Most of these cars have had this touch panel on the luxury models. This is the interior, nice and white. I'm lazily editing this. So if you haven't seen an MKX, I guess the real question is, well, how does this compare to the Cadillac SRX? How does it compare to the Cadillac SRX? So anyway, you step on the pedal, you see the engine light come on, step off, engine light goes off, step on, engine light comes on, hit that, car starts. Notice how you barely hear the car. And the car wants to sing to me for some reason. Let's rev that. Let's turn that window down and rev it again. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury engineers, if you've guessed that I would like you to put a V8 in this car, then you are correct. I would like you to put a V8 in this car. So you got heated, cool seats. Let's turn on the cooled. In fact, well, it's actually like 55 degrees out. So really, I should actually turn on the heating, shouldn't I? I kind of like having my ass cooled. Not too hot in my ass. So let's turn it down to 1. And the passenger, who's, my sunglasses, I don't think my sunglasses needs cooled seating, so we'll keep it off. Okay, so what else we got here? Sync system. Ford's new sync system. It's okay. I mean, you could, if I was them, I might consider trying to make this LCD screen either longer or wider. But since the Volvo has one that's really long and vertical, I think what they might want to consider doing is going widescreen. That would be cool, So this way you're in park, you could watch a movie or something like that. But glove compartment. It's decent carpeting. That's one thing I'm waiting for, is the new Lincoln Continental, because I've heard them talking, and saying really good things about the level of the carpet in the car. So I'm really interested in seeing that. Got these wood, metal, impact polyurethane or whatever they call it. And you got these really big speakers. And I'll tell you, these speakers, it's a nice thing that they put these speakers here, because these speakers actually help break up the monotony of the plastics and the polyurethane and whatnot. The wood is actually pretty nice. This is a nice trim choice for this car. This is actually a very nice trim choice. And this is the S button, just in case you mean. That's the sport mode setting. Why you'd have a sport mode setting, just to make the car shift a little bit quicker. Be a little bit more aggressive with the gas. That's something cool. And the car gets really decent miles per gallon, but that's because, you're dealing with very small displacement engines. And what you got? You got this SD card, line in, double USB, 12 volt. SD is always my favorite, because when you use SD, I like the direct link to the computer. This has a 12 volt right here, There is no other SD card and there's no other USB. So basically, if you have a phone or whatever, you're supposed to put it in this small section right here. You're just supposed to put your wire in there and you're supposed to put your phone in there. Okay, so that's the interior. You got your cruise control settings, your light dimmer and everything, the light adjusters for this heads-up display, and as you got your buttons here for your heads-up display. It goes, this one controls that side, which says fuel economy, driver assist settings, etc. This side right here cycles through your radio stations. If you touch this side right here, if you touch left or right, it goes to the what is it called, the sources for your radio stations. Right, pretty straightforward, right? Cruise control settings, on and off, phone on and off, mute, volume, etc., etc. And right here is your airbag. So this way, when you know, you slam into something, the airbag explodes into your face, and it saves your life for just that moment. But when all that dust and stuff gets into your lungs, you get cancer and die. Okay, so permit me to do this interview with a slight southern accent, since right now I'm Matthew McConaughey. Well, when you drive a Lincoln, one thing you got to understand is that it's, you know, it's not like any other car. Well, basically, when you drive a Lincoln, it's that you decided that what you weren't going to do was you just weren't going to be just like everybody else and get yourself a Lexus RX or a Mercedes GL or something like that. But driving a Lincoln is about it's about knowing that you could have gotten any of those things, but instead you chose to go small on your engine, and you know, for the finer things in life, what you wanted to do was you just wanted to drive in luxury and comfort, but you know, you don't need that powerful engine that you might have gotten in a Chrysler product like the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and you certainly, you know, won't have that long-term reliability that you might get in one of those soulless Japanese Sakano boxes. So basically, driving a Lincoln, you have to be a certain type of person to drive a Lincoln. You know, it's something that not everybody can absolutely do. So what you have here is you have the wood accents, and there's your unlock and lock button, along with your memory options there for your seat. And then you got your left and right driver mirrors adjustments, and you know, your mirrors can fold in. Make sure they don't get ripped off if you try to drive past somebody, and there's not a lot of space there for you. And you know, you have very tasteful accents on your window up and down switch. That's always good. So let's turn down this window a little bit so we can hear some acceleration. Oh, and by the way, let me not forget, right here you got your windshield. Got that ultra view windshield, you know, it goes all the way back. You just gotta double tap that son bitch right there. Just double tap it. How do you do that? Oh wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. You know, when I was filming that movie Contact with Jodie Foster, one thing I always promised was that if I, you know, was ever in a Lincoln, that I was gonna tell the aliens that we were gonna do 0 to 60 tests. Hey, look, there's a cop right in front of us. Look at that. We're going to do a 0 to 60 test with the cop right in front of us. Woo. See that? Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, how does this car feel compared to the Cadillac SRX? You know, since I'm an honest person, I'm just going to tell you that basically the Cadillac SRX, in some ways, it's a little bit more spacious than this car, maybe a little bit more comfortable to drive. However, the cut, fit, and finish of this Lincoln product, in my opinion, might be a little bit better than what you get out of GM. So this might be actually something that you prefer to have if you're willing to go low on your engine and go high on your interior amenities. You see? Now, one thing some people might not have liked was the fact that they got this new push-button system over here. Now, me personally, I mean, if you're going to drive a machine that doesn't have a V8, there's no need for a Mach shifter. I mean, right here in this space, instead of a Mach shifter, you could put your cups of coffee right there. You know, you don't really need a Mach shifter. So all you gotta, you know, just do is you just push drive to go into drive. You push park to go into park, and now you're in park, right? And you also push that button if you want to stop your engine. But let's go back into drive for a second, you know, so we can keep up with traffic. But what else is there to say about this car? I mean, the seats are kind of comfortable. They're okay. It's too bad that neither Lincoln nor GM nor Ford want to, have seats as cool as what's in the Mercedes C-Class. I would like to have, powered headrests and thigh cushions right here for my thighs. I'd love to have that, but apparently they don't think I need it. As far as they're concerned, all I need is a THX sound system and a really big freaking moonroof. Big moonroofs are nice. TH sound systems are nice, but me personally, I kind of wish I had cooler seats, but I don't. And I'm just gonna have to deal with hello officer. How you doing, officer? Don't beat me. Okay. So, anything else is there to say about this car? Well, gee, I'm not too sure. I mean, the ride's pretty soft and nice. It's pretty soft and nice ride. I'm driving this car. Oh, snap! It's a Charger. Look at that Charger. Look at the Charger. Now, see, this guy, this is what you're supposed to be. Rear-wheel drive with a Hemi. Now, does he have a Hemi? Well, it looks like he doesn't have a Hemi. Where I see what should be a Hemi badge, he has a scratch. So you're going to want to get that taken care of at your local auto body shop. But, he has an SXT. Yeah, I see it now. He has an SXT. See, if he got himself a better job, he'd have the Hellcat. I'm waiting for that Hellcat to come out in the 300. But there's that Charger. You see, why is it that they refuse to make big cars? Why? Instead of making big cars, everything is a goddamn crossover. I don't want to drive a crossover because I'm not a soccer mom. See, the problem is they want to make it so that everything's front-wheel drive with the all-wheel drive option. So what ends up happening is people who buy an all-wheel drive vehicle want ground clearance. You see this Jeep Grand Cherokee right there? This man's driving in style. You see that? Jeep Grand Cherokee. See, the problem is the ground clearance. If you're going to get an all-wheel drive vehicle, why is it that they can't simply make rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive? So this way people who are driving enthusiasts can drive a nice rear-wheel drive car, and they can also have the option to get all-wheel drive. Chrysler's all-wheel drive will turn off when it knows that it doesn't need the all-wheel drive, and it turns back on when it knows that it needs it, like when the traction needs to be increased. You see that Charger back there? Look at that Charger. Look at that Charger. That's a badass car right there. See, it's funny. The reason why Dodge is selling so well is because they're like the only people besides Hyundai Genesis that makes a rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive car that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Most people don't have $100,000 to buy a Mercedes S-Class. Most people don't have $100,000 to buy a BMW. And they certainly don't have $140,000 to buy a Tesla Model S P80 or P90D. They don't have that. Look at this. Watch this. Oh, snap. Look at that. Woo! I'm flying in the Lincoln. All right. That was terrible. If you had a V8 option, here's my question. If you're paying $50-something for a car, why is this a 2.3 liter anything? Why isn't this the 3.5 liter EcoBoost that we saw in the Lincoln MKS and the Ford Taurus show? I should have a 3.5 liter EcoBoost as standard. The people who are buying these cars got money and they got credit. So why is it that you call this luxury? The Ford version of this thing should have the little tiny engine. The Lincoln version should come with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost, period. And I think the only other engine that you might want to have is probably the 3.7 liter V6 that was in the original MKS. But these people aren't serious about building cars. This is all they want to do. They want to give you the bare minimum. They want to give you some little soulless econo box. Now, granted, this is a nice interior. It's white, so it's kind of hard to keep clean. It's a nice interior, I'll give them that. But man, all you would have had to do to make this car come alive, you could have done two things. You either make this a plug-in hybrid, which would actually justify being a small engine and allow people to plug their damn car in, and probably be more practical than a Tesla Model X. You could have gone a full EV, which would have made it more expensive, but some people would have actually appreciated that if they had gotten like 300 miles worth of range. Or you could have just done the smart thing and say, you know what? Let's take the 3.5 liter EcoBoost that we're using in just about everything else that's big, and instead of putting that little ass V6 with hair dryers in a Ford Explorer, how about we put that engine in this car? In fact, how about we put that engine in any Lincoln that we have in got me an Ecobooost. Look at that. Yeah, you don't see Matthew McConaughey. Let's test the braking. Woo, Jesus Christ. They need Brembos on this damn thing. This thing sucks. Get some Brembo brakes. It takes too long, man. If this had been my SRTs weigh more than this car, and they stop faster than this car, you know why? Because I have a $5,000 Brembo braking kit on mine. This is a Lincoln. This is supposed to be more than a Chrysler product. Why is it that Chrysler is putting all of that high-tech shit on their cars, like Brembo brakes? Forget the V8 for a second. How about some Brembo brakes so I can stop in like 100 feet when I'm doing 60 or 120 feet? Come on. You're not even trying. You see that Buick? You see that Buick dealership? Buicks and Volvos, they're kind of nice. The new Volvo XC90, which I did a video on, it's kind of nice. But the thing about it is these things have no soul. There's like nothing to brag about. You know, if when you buy a car like this, you want to be able to talk about it. You want it to be a conversation starter. You want to say, yeah, my car's got a 7-liter V8, or my car does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds because I paid Tesla a shitload of money. I can't brag about this car. I just can't. I mean, let's say, you know, you're just a little family. You got like 2 little kids. I mean, it's okay for them. I mean, you know, there's a little bit of space back here. Look how much space there is back there. I couldn't even sit back there comfortably. Look at that. I mean, granted, it's got a really big moonroof, but you know, what about my legs? I don't put my legs out the moonroof. You know? I mean, it's not too bad, but damn, they don't want to give you anything anymore. All right, let me make this little turn right here. Uh-oh. I sense acceleration coming on. Uh-oh. Let me do a dead stop. Watch this. Everybody's looking. Oh! That was lame. We're not even at 60 yet. Are you kidding me? We're not even at 60 yet. That's bullshit. Everybody's looking at me, they're like, yo, why did this dude stop in the middle of the road? What does he think he's in, a Tesla P90D? You can't drive like that. Oh boy, Ford, Lincoln, you know, you gave up on Mercury. And you know, I tell you what, if you keep on turning out substandard products that just look good but have no soul, it's like you're gonna end up giving up Lincoln too. And a lot of people have a death watch on you. See, that's Mercedes-Benz. They don't play around. V8s. Anybody who makes an argument, oh, people don't want a V8, well, I'll tell you what. You tell me why Mercedes offers V8s in their cars and they selling them. That S-Class got a V8. Ain't no twin turbo nothing. It's a twin turbo V8. And that's just so they can add like 60 horsepower to what was, uh-oh, look at that Chrysler. Look at that Chrysler. Is that a SRT? Damn. This guy with this Honda, look, I got Hondas passing me. Look at that. That's how, look at that. This guy's got a Honda and he's flying by me because he's got the best CVT made right now. They're flying by me, laughing. He's like, yeah, get that Lincoln out of my Japanese soulless and Kano box imports way so that I can drive on the road. Oh, he's a Marine. Oh, I got instant respect for that guy. U.S. Marine Corps. There you go, instant respect. So, who's this car for? I'd say just like the SRX, this car is for like women. This is not a man's car. It's like right now, there are things that are way more aggressive, way more powerful. If you got kids, you could still get a nice muscle car that handles like a good regular road car, a nice touring car. But this is a woman's car right here, you know? It's a woman's car. Now, these things have some level of autonomous driving where they do lane departure watch and what else? They can steer themselves to some extent. You're not supposed to do that, and the reason why is because the insurance companies will have your ass for breakfast if you get into a car accident. The police, you know, if they see you without your hands on the wheel, since they're watching to make sure you're not texting, they'll also do things to you, pull you over and be like, yo, you should have had your hands on the wheel. They give you a ticket. If you talk back, you get like a beat. So, you know, it's probably better if you just drive yourself. Like on those really long highways, it's okay. You turn on the lane departure and all that stuff on the long highways. How about that radio? I can't get too much music.
College prepares you to move the world.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the THX sound systems are always pretty good. It was 103.5. 103.5. I don't want to get too much music. Everybody's just talking. Come on. No, There's no music there. Now, one thing Ford did get right is they got smart and they said, you know what? You know, these old people want buttons. Like a lot of old people, even in my BMW review, they had that nonsense where you point and spin your finger or some shit to turn the volume up, and you turn it like this to go down. And the old guy who was driving the car, immediately he said, you know what, I could just do this right here. I could turn it up like that, or I could turn it down. See, the thing about it is system redundancy. You got your steering wheel buttons, you got your touchscreen, and you got this. So Ford did get that right. Thank God for that. Because otherwise they were gonna, you know, slide in sales a little bit more. System redundancy, that's the word. You always gotta have good system redundancy. So, you know, the 2.3 liters okay, the ride's relatively comfortable. And I mean, you know, if you just want an entry luxury car that looks nice when you're carpooling with your friends, yeah, you know, it's okay. But I'm telling you, if you want a real car, you gotta get yourself a Jeep Grand Cherokee. You just gotta. And you know, it's funny, even the Jeep Cherokee comes with a V6 with all-wheel drive and still doesn't cost as much as this car. And the same thing repeats itself with the Chrysler 200C, which I've been seeing a lot on the road. The 200C is selling really well because it offers all-wheel drive and a V6. The engine is anything but lethargic, because I've made a video about driving it. See, that's the MKZ right there. You know, it's not a lethargic engine. It's very powerful. It gives you the backup of that all-wheel drive when you're in the snow and whatnot. That's what I expect cars to have with, you know, if you're a luxury car, I really expect you to have a V6 all-wheel drive. I don't want no damn turbo 4 cylinders. That's not what I want. Oh, look at BMW. BMW, they got the gold M4 Sport, I believe. They got the blue one right there. They got a blue one. Then they got the gold one. Look at that. That's something you buy if you're in Dubai. Yeah. They got the i8 up in there. They got the gray i8. And see, you know, yeah, that's just what it is, you know. These cars, it's like meh, whatever. It's like, it, you know, this is just something, you know, for retirees, you know. It's nothing to get excited about. It's just, you know, it's just a car, you know. If only this car offered like that if this car had that 3.5 liter V6, had a lower stance and had Brembo brakes, all of a sudden they'd have something to talk about. They'd really have something to talk about here. You know, that would be cool. Look at that Escalade. That thing's still got a V8 in that thing. They ain't putting no twin turbo, nothing. V8. You hear the sound of this thing? It just goes boop, 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 boop. It's kind of quiet. Everything's quiet here. Everything's so quiet. Everything's so quiet. I'm just driving around, you know, just showing you the MKX. I can't even remember the name of these goddamn things because it's just so many letters. It's like, how do you remember the names? I think I'll pull over, do a quick walk around of the car. Let's see, where can I pull over? Oh, there's a nice lot right there. I hope nobody minds if I pull into the lot unannounced. I hope nobody minds. Hope nobody minds. Excuse me. Okay, I'll watch out. Nobody minds if I pull into this lot real quick. Let's do a quickie walk around of the MKX. I'm gonna keep this thing rolling. Park. Instead of putting it in park, actually I should just turn it off. Boom, it's off. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so that's white premium MKX. White and premium. It's a good looking truck. All these damn crossovers look alike. It's like the Tesla Model X. I think the thing that's gonna make that car stand out the most is really those doors, you know? Because the doors make it so it just doesn't look like anything else on the road. You know, not only that, it's the doors have a very high-tech design. You know, very high-tech. So that's the car. Could you imagine if this thing had Brembos? Could you imagine if this thing had a faster engine than Brembos and they made a sport version? Could you imagine that? Brembo brakes. That would be so cool. It's got the camera for the, you know, collision avoidance and all that. It's not a bad car. It's, not necessarily a bad car. It's just, you know, there's so many things they could have done with this. Look at that. Now, sitting the way I sit, who could sit behind me except a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old? Who could sit behind me? I don't know what kind of products you have to use to clean the white, all that white leather. Now, I do like the white leather. I always, you know, complain if you don't offer nice colors. There's no white colors, but this is not too bad. Yeah, this is not bad at all. It's a decent amount of space. I think this thing is similar to the Escape, you know. Closes itself. It's like, who decided that cars had to sing to me? It's like, don't sing to me, just beep and close. It's like, it ain't gotta be that complicated. So that's it.